O'Neill has until Monday to respond. He is not suspended yet, but it's interesting to note that this happened given the timing. You would know more about this than I. The Masters going on right now. This is a Gary O'Neill quote from back in 2009. Yep. I've taken one booking myself on purpose, not over Christmas. I wanted to watch the Masters, the U.S. Masters. It was in April. I was on 9 yellows, and I was definitely getting 10 anyway. We were playing Bolton away or someone. I thought, if I just get a yellow here, I can sit at home next weekend with my mates and watch the Masters. Okay, so this was from a moment back in 2009. The interview is, though, in 2019. What do you make of it?
Well, it's not a very smart thing for him.
You think he was trying to get out of get out of work this weekend to watch the Masters?
It's not a very smart thing for somebody that wants to go into coaching and managing.
To say,
because he's now got a group of players who he would be doing somersaults down the road on his head if one of his players got booked unnecessarily. Say it was
to have the weekend off for whatever reason.
Cunha or João Gomez gets a yellow card and can't play. Hey, Gaffer. I tell you what I'd love for one of the Wolves players to do. Is got himself a booking and went in and said,
him in Augusta.
I want to watch the Masters on Sunday. Right. So I got a booking. He goes absolutely bananas, and then the player produces this article and goes, have a look at this.
Yep. Do what I say, not as I do.
We all discuss these things about Christmas time, and we have a bit of a laugh.
You ever see anything crazy to get like an extra week of vacation, or anybody pull something?
Some of the old Arsenal boys used to be quite renowned for getting from the sort of Tony Adams and Paul Merson era. Christmas time, Tony Adams used to always manage to get some time off at Christmas, allegedly. And we had a player at Chelsea, Gordon Dury, who later went on to play for Tottenham and Rangers, and he was my teammate at Scotland. He always, funny enough, seemed to need a hernia operation around about...
End of the season?
No, Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
just a couple weeks.
He was ready by the time the second half of the season started, but just in Christmas.
Well, but you used to have Christmas in the early, cold, bitter nights of January.
And you would play Boxing Day and the day after.
Yeah.
And so, to have a little break at that time.
Well,
What about you, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, I knew players that some of it was actually by design, because there was maybe a match they wanted them to miss, and they knew they were going to have a suspension coming up. So it's like, hey, make sure you get a yellow card in this match, and then you'll miss this one, and then you'll be ready for this big match. And then I knew also some guys who made sure that's not a fun away trip, and it almost never happens for home matches. It almost seems that. But I never knew anybody to go publicly with saying they did it on purpose.
Kieran, obviously the consummate professional, he would have never done anything like this. Did you know anybody that might have done something similar?
Oh yeah, for sure. There was a couple. I'm just deciding in my head now whether I name names or not.
At least give us a story.
I mean, to be honest, like Gary O'Neill said, there's players that just are going to get a suspension every season, no matter what. That's just the way they play. So they to time it, at the right time. Normally at Christmas time, as Craig says, was the popular one. Henry Lansbury, who I played with at Arsenal, who went on to Forest and Aston Villa. He was a culprit. He didn't mind 5 bookings within the first 3-4 months of a season. So he was definitely one of them. And then there was a couple at West Brom. I feel like there was conversations all the time when someone was on four bookings. It was widely known around the team that the next games this player was definitely going to get a booking.
I don't even remember knowing a lot of times how many bookings I was on.
Really? That seems like something you would have been told before every match. Certainly if you were on the edge, on the cusp.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it was a big game and there was listen, I think you'd have known if you were playing an FA Cup quarter-final, semi-final, and you were going to miss a final. But as a general rule of thumb, I don't...
Did you get a lot of accumulation suspensions in your day?
No, not really.
Yeah.
No, not really. But maybe I was told and I just can't remember. But I don't remember it affecting me. I remember Stevie Clark, the current Scotland manager, playing in a game, and he was a booking away from missing. I think it was a semi-final of the FA Cup, and basically the manager Glenn had told me that I had to make sure I was covering them because he wouldn't be tackling anybody that day. And you have to go through these things. You know, we couldn't leave Stevie out of the team because it was such a big game, but he was then going to miss, I think it was a semi-final, had he got the booking. So it is what it is. But to come out, you might call it honest and say that's a bit strange.
Maybe he was in between jobs or something there in 2019 and
thought that was going to help his job.
I don't know. Maybe thought all these years later it wouldn't be dug up.